Om Sahana Bhavatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The topic for today and tomorrow is a story from the Chandogya Upanishad, chapter 8. The Upanishad is the primary source for enlightenment from self-ignorance. So the journey from self-ignorance to self-knowledge has to necessarily begin with traveling on the road of the Upanishad. The Upanishads were not written down, but revealed knowledge to sages in great depths of meditation. The Upanishad is so called because the root word is shad, to remove, to disintegrate, to completely eliminate, and to lead. These are the meanings of the word shad. What does it eliminate? What does it disseminate? Dissipate? Where does it leave me? But very important considerations. It dissipates self-ignorance in the sense that self-ignorance is that which morphs into wrong notions about the I. If I don't know something, it cannot harm me. Okay, I don't know it. I can find out something about it. It's not a big deal. But if I know something wrongly, then it becomes difficult to understand, difficult to live with, because I'm not just not knowing something, I'm knowing something wrongly. The case of the I is the case of the entity with a mistaken knowledge, wrong knowledge. Wrong knowledge, mistaken knowledge. What kind of wrong knowledge? What kind of mistaken knowledge? It is the wrong knowledge and the mistaken knowledge that keeps bringing us to the ashrams repeatedly. I am an idiot. I don't know this. I lack this. I don't have this. I want to be somewhere where I'm not. I will feel better after I acquire this, that, or the other. You can fill in the blanks, you know very well. Or I will feel better after I shed this, that, or the other. Here also you can fill in the blanks. That's why I call it sometimes the Upanishad, because it makes me shed all the wrong notions. So this is the problem. The problem is with the wrong notions. If I don't know something, it's okay, because many things I don't know. I don't know so many things. I don't know how the prehistoric human beings lived. We are still finding out. I don't know, but that does not really harm me. The problem is the wrong knowledge. So it dissipates the wrong knowledge, the Upanishad. But then anything that is dissipated, what can happen to it? It will come back like the fog. Fog goes away in the sunlight, and then it will come back the next day. But not this self-ignorance. That's why the second meaning of the word Upanishad is that it totally uproots, eliminates by uprooting. So when the root cause of this samsara, what is samsara? Some sorrow or the other. Okay. It's a simple definition, adequate. So this samsara is the cause of this samsara is wrong understanding of the I, and this wrong understanding is eliminated. And it cannot come back because the root cause of samsara is wrong knowledge, self-ignorance, etc., etc. And then what does it do? It leads me to Brahman. What is Brahman? The truth of myself as free, as whole, as limitless, and exactly as I want to be. This is where it leads me. So this is the Upanishad, and there are many, 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 many Upanishads. And out of these many, 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 many Upanishads, we will be looking at one chapter of one of the long Upanishads called Chandogya Upanishad. The Chandogya Upanishad is famous for the sentence which everybody knows, even if they don't know Sanskrit. What is that one? Tat Tvam Asi. Tat Tvam Asi, the Mahavakya. You are indeed Ishvara, you are indeed non-separate from the whole, you are non-separate from Bhagavan. This is what is the teaching, and that we will find in the 6th chapter of this Upanishad, the dialogue between Shvetaketu and his father, who is now turned into what? His teacher. Then the 7th chapter of the very same Upanishad is the story of Narada, a very erudite sage, and Sanat Kumara, his teacher. Narada is already knowing so much, and so this one asks, Sanat Kumara asks, where should I begin? This is chapter 7. I'm just building up to chapter 8 so that you won't see that suddenly there is chapter 8. A little bit of continuity helps. Narada says, I don't know that, because of why is it that I am having grief? I do not know. Please help me cross over this sorrow. Please help me cross over this sorrow totally and completely with your teachings. And then the teacher says, you need to tell me what you know. Because only when you tell me what you know, then I can decide where to teach you. Baby Vedanta, baby talk, goo goo gaga, should we begin there? Or should we begin at the high school level? Should we begin at a college level? undergraduate level, postdoctoral level. Tell me what you know. And then he gives a whole list, a page and a half of all the things he knows. And Sanat Kumara, listening to it patiently, says, I see your problem, Narada. You know a lot of nothing. You don't know that one thing because of which all things are. And that one thing happens to be you. Consciousness, awareness, Brahman. You don't know that. So that is the 7th chapter called Bhuma Vidya, where Atma, Brahman gets a new name, Bhuma. Why can't we just stick with Atma? Because, each time we hear Atma, Brahman, it becomes a lullaby. Yes. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti at the end of the class becomes a wake-up call. So, Atma, yeah, been there, done that, everybody nods off. So, a new word is coined given to this one. Who is it given to? Narada. A new word is given. Very beautiful word. A new word is given to Narada. This comprises the 7th chapter of the Upanishad. The same Upanishad that we are about to study. And what are we going to study? The 8th chapter. Now, there must be some connections between the chapters, otherwise, what's the point? So the connection, for the connection, we rely on the Bhashya, a very beautiful commentary by Adi Shankara, who is a very important link in the tradition, who tells us how to interpret. So the 6th chapter has given the total knowledge that you are indeed that which you want to be. You are indeed non-separate from the Lord, from the Goddess. You are indeed you are indeed essentially intrinsically happy. You don't have to gain anything. You don't have to lose anything. You are limitless. You are whole. You are free. This was already given. But then the 7th chapter, he says, is necessitated because we have to discover this one thing, only thing that is to be known. Because going away from the 6th chapter, one would think that, okay, this is one of the many knowledges branches that I have to gain. And then so now I can just be with one more thing. That's why people often say, I don't have time for ashram. I don't have time for satsang. Many things to do, many places to go, many people to see. Without understanding that because of which I see, I hear, I talk, I am, and I act, and I know, all this is because of what? Because of which consciousness? That consciousness alone I have to understand as the truth of myself. This one doesn't know. That is why the 7th chapter has Brahman as the cause of the universe and oneself as non-separate from the cause of the universe is given in total. Then why do we need chapter 8? All this is given in total. Chapter 8 is very close to our hearts. It is very close to my heart, and it will soon hopefully be very close to your heart also, because chapter 8 talks about what kind of infrastructure do we need to have in order to assimilate this knowledge through a very beautiful allegory. A story that involves Indra, the king of the gods. And who else? Virojana, the king of the Asuras. Who are Asuras? Demons, demonic beings. Asushu namante iti asuraha. Those that only dwell in the sense objects. So anybody can be an asura. We don't think of, what should I say, in India, when we think of Rakshasa, Asura, and these things, we have some comic books for children where they are depicted with these big handlebar mustaches with canine teeth coming out. No, the modern contemporary Asura looks very much like you or me and then goes about the world totally, what should I say, solipsistic and only interested in sense objects and the sense gratification. That is Asura. So there is always in the Puranas and stories of Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all the Puranic stories, the quintessential battle between the devas, the godly beings, and asuras, the demonic ones. And before we assume that this battle is happening somewhere in the multiverse, we have to understand that this battle is actually going on where? Right here, in the same heart which desires this knowledge, which desires the lifestyle of Karma Yoga, which desires chanting, meditation, ashram, a beautiful inward life. In that same heart are the Virochanas, are the Asuras. So Indra, the word Indra is very important because it means the one Indriyanam Raja, the one who has mastered the sense organs. The one who has mastered the sense organs is Indra. And then what do we have? Virochana. His name also has an interesting derivation, two derivations really, because Sanskrit is a very elastic and a beautiful language. So I'm sure when his mummy named him, she meant the first derivation, which is Rochana means shine. Vishesha Rochana means a special, the one, this child has a special brilliance, a special shine. But then, because of his behavior, and because of the kind of person he grew up to be, we can use the second derivation, Vigata Rochana Yasmat, from whom all the resplendence has departed, meaning a lackluster person. Virochana, king of the demons. Then Indra and Virochana were outside a big hall where Prajapati, the creator, was giving a talk, a Vedanta talk. And in that he said, Atma, apahata papma, vijaraha, vimrityuhu, vishokaha, kshut pipasa rahitaha, akshut pipasaha, meaning this Atma, apahata papma, free of guilt and hurt, and it's free of papa, wrong karma. The effects of wrong karma are not there at all. Free of punya, free of papa, and vijaraha, meaning free of old age. Vimrityu, free of death, free of hunger, free of thirst, free of all these things. Very nice. And the Devas listened to this part of the talk and said, we really need to go to this ashram and study this Atma. We must do this. If we don't do this, we are the losers. We have to do this. We absolutely, absolutely, absolutely have to do this. And then the demons also thought, yeah, this is great. No matter what I do, there are no consequences. No papa. Yippee. World domination got a lot easier. And I want this knowledge too. Vimrityuhu. I'll remain forever, terrorizing everybody. This is great. And then they also thought, Vijaraha. Fantastic. I will look young all the time, not a wrinkle inside, which I have been free of old age. This is what we need. This is exactly what we need. And over here, the Devas were conferring, who should we send amongst us to receive this knowledge, who can come back and teach us? And they said, Indra, east or west, you are the best, you go. And then over on this side, each one, they don't have a conference, they have chaos. This is what demons are, this is what Asuri Vritti is, Asura-like things. So they must have biffed and cuffed each other, and whoever remained standing said, I'm the one going. And it happened to be the king of the demons, Virojana. Then, scene Act 2. Act 2, both of them present themselves at Prajapati's ashram. And when you go to the ashram, any ashram, you have to talk to the teacher there and say why you have come. Naturally. You introduce yourself, it's a nice thing to do. I am so and so, and I would like to gain this after staying here. It's one thing if you're just going and coming. If you just come for one satsang, it's okay. If you're staying here, then you have to say who you are. But neither Indra nor Virojana thought this was necessary or thought that this was like the protocol. They were clueless. And how long did they stay? 33 years they stayed. Not 33 days, not 33 hours. 33 years they stayed, not even 33 months. 33 years they stayed, and they ate the food of the ashram and just went on in life. And usually the student approaches the teacher and says, please teacher, teach me. Take me as your disciple. Here Prajapati, patient as he was, could not stand it any longer. And he approached the two gentlemen and said, what are you doing here? One fine day, after 33 years, he said, what is going on here? What are you doing? Keeping on being here, what for have you come? And then Indra dutifully recites Prajapati's talk, which he heard when? 33 years ago. You said long ago, Atma, Apahata Papma, Vicharaha, Vimrityu, Vishokaha, Kshut Pipasarahitaha, etc., etc., etc. And this is what I have to know, this is what I want, and this is why I'm here. What does Virojana do? He just keeps quiet, does not say a word. And when Prajapati looks at him inquiringly, he just points to him, like whatever he said, yeah. There are reasons for this. There are very sound reasons for this, because the Upanishad does not want to give the microphone, a mouthpiece, to a demon. We don't want to hear the demon speak. That's one reason. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, we see this. Sanjaya Uvacha, the narrator Sanjaya spoke. Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna spoke. Dhritarashtra Uvacha, Dhritarashtra spake. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, Lord Krishna spoke. Who do we not hear? Duryodhana. Never hear Duryodhana Uvacha. No. The Upanishad does not want to give airtime to these useless fellows, not even by mistake. And in fact, Duryodhana does speak, but his speech in the first chapter is converted into the indirect speech. Raja Vachanam Abravit. Indirect speech, not never direct speech. That's the first reason. Second reason is because Virojana is in a way non-separate from Indra. This we will see as we go through the story. Then what happens? Then finally, after being smoked out from their cabins by Prajapati and found out why they are there, they finally, Indra says, this is what I want to see the Atma. Can you see the Atma? No. Why? The Atma is the truth of the seer. Seeing happens because of Atma. Atma is not an object of sight. It is in fact the truth of oneself. So there is no Atma which is an object. It is the content of you, the subject, which can never, ever, ever be objectified. And so what happens? Now, this one goes, and Prajapati, looking at Virochana's face, does not feel like teaching at all. Because he is not what we call in Sanskritam adhikari. Adhikari means deserving of this knowledge. And clearly it says in every Upanishad, do not give this knowledge to those who are not deserving. Either because they are doing wrong things in life all the time, or because they have not, through, what is that called? Through inquiry. So they have not come to a place of letting go of strong desires, jealousy, and pride, all these things, anger. They have not made this commitment, so do not teach them. Prajapati looking at Virochana, his mood is totally off, doesn't want to keep this knowledge. And so they keep saying, are we going to see? Indra says, when can we see the Atma? Are we going to see the Atma now? Yes. And he claps his hands, and two ashramites bring this big, huge vat of water. Gentlemen, see the Atma to your heart's content. Ooh, says each of them. Ooh, look at me. Not bad. I wish I had had some cream. These biceps would have stood out better. Very nice. Look at that. Look at this. I wish I had had some jelly. I could have made the mustaches nice and pointy. And then what? Keeps looking. They are very happy. Each one of them is happy. Looks wonderful. I look really great. Each one says, the Atma is wonderful. Oh, Prajapati, the Atma is fantastic. I didn't know the Atma is so beautiful. And then Prajapati eggs them on and says, where is your wonderful jewelry that you had put aside? Put them on and then look at yourself. Oh, really? Can we? Yes, the water will be right here. Go dress up and come. And they go dress up and come. And OMG, the Atma looks even more beautiful to them. And so saying, they both take Prajapati's leave. And seeing them go away in the distance, Prajapati says, look at these fools. Look at these foolish people. They think they know the I, and they think they know the Atma. And what do they have other than just this wrong egotistical knowledge, wrong knowledge? That's what they have. And this is not going to be of any use to them. And whosoever, he puts a kind of a curse, whosoever starts to teach this as the knowledge of the self, certainly their lineage will not prosper. Definitely their lineage will not prosper. So they go their separate ways. Virochana, we are told, goes back and then opens an ashram, Asura Vidya Gurukula, and he opens an ashram where there are lots of places where just for every notion about the body, there is a lotion and a potion. For every notion entertained. and everybody is like, oh, I think I need more of this, more of that. And I think that's where the idea from the body shop started. Yes, there's a whole shop called body shop. Yes. I encountered it in a very interesting way because I was just running from one gate to another. I was almost going to miss my flight because the one flight was late and the other one was on time, so I was running. And then I just ran past these shops in the airport. One shop I ran past made a big noise and things started to fall. Small pieces of shining paper. What is that called? Something. Yes, that started to fall. And I said, wait, madam, wait. I said, no, I have to go. Why are you doing it? He said, no, you are the, I don't know how many thousands of person to do this in front of our shop, which has just opened here. And I said, what shop? The body shop. And all colored liquids, creams, potions. And they said, oh, here is a free gift, something they gave. I gave it away to somebody. But this is when I got this idea. And then, so Virochana does that. Indra, he's also ready to set home. He's also thinking, oh, I must teach all this to all the people, all the devas, and we will be happy. We will live happily ever after. There he's thinking. And then, but he's a sattvic person. Virochana, tamasik, rajasic. But this person is very sattvic. And then, what does he do? He just wants to drink some water. He stops by a lake. And as he parts the water to put his hands and drink, first he looks at himself. Oh, Atma, how are you? Great. Hey, hi, I have missed you. Fantastic. You're looking good. You're really looking good. And then he just parts the water to drink, and then he sees that his reflection is all distorted. And he says, wait a minute, Atma doesn't change. It's Sat, non-changing, ever present, never distorted. I have been had. I need to go back. He goes back to Prajapati. Goes back to Prajapati, and Prajapati looks at him coming in the distance and scans the road to make sure that Virochana is not following him. And he's very happy he's come back by himself. And then he just, he's very excited. When is the next class? Oh, bro, when is the next satsang? Tonight. He says, okay, I'm just going to take a bath, put vibhuti stripes everywhere, all over the body, and come and sit, all fresh. Come and sit in front of the teacher and gain this knowledge. And it turns out that the opening prayer, Om Sahana Bhavatu, which we just chanted, and the closing prayer, which we will also duly chant later, Purnamadaha Purnamidam, turned out to be longer than the class itself. What was the class? The what? Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam, Tata bye bye. He says, what? I have questions. Can I ask a question? Yes. Certainly you can ask a question. When is the next class? 33 years hence. So anybody else would have left by this time? Things to do, places to go, people to see, have to accomplish a lot. Maybe this teacher doesn't know what he's talking about. Keeps saying da. And then, but because he was an adhikari means what? He was very much a deserving person. Because he was an adhikari, what did he do? He stayed there and wanted this knowledge very much. stayed there for 33 years, making cow dung patties, and was used as fuel for doing that, serving the teacher, being around the teacher, letting the mind calm down. And then 33 years also later, now he's very excited about the next class. Fantastic, all my doubts will be cleared, everything will be wonderful. And then, alas, the same thing happens. What happens? What? I didn't even understand the first da. Now you're giving me the second da. What am I supposed to do? Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. When is the next class? By now you also know when? 33 years hence. He stays. 3 rounds of 33 years, he says, stays, just listening to this one syllabic, monosyllabic class. The teachers in the ancient times had a good, had it easy. Here we keep talking for hours together. There, they just have to say da and go away. Very easy. And then, I think after the third da, he understood the way to gain this knowledge. And what was the way to gain this knowledge? Da, to give, serve. And then the first da was to give, and the second da was to restrain one's senses, restrain one's sense organs of action, behave appropriately, gain maturity to qualify for this knowledge. And then finally, the last da was to take care of the inner asuras. He finally understood. Then he said, "Can I go now, master?" And the master says, "Stay 6 more years." Why to stay for 6 more years? Stay 6 more years so that you will have, you can tell everybody, and everybody will know you have stayed with the teacher for over 100 years and gained this knowledge. Now, this is not a fact that is talked about in the Upanishad, designed to make us feel depressed. Like someone of Indra's caliber, even after 106 years, he took 106 years to gain this knowledge. What hope do we have? No, that's not the point of this example. The point of this example is that the whole somebody like the whole teaching is such that even someone like Indra, so exalted, so full, so free, who had wanted to stay for so long to gain this knowledge, is supposed to be an inspiration. And what happens to Virojana? Never heard of again. Never, ever heard of again. And this becomes a very beautiful allegory, which we need to unpack. I'm just going to check the time so I know how much time we have.
We have 8:30.
Oh, it's 8:30. Okay, so 15 minutes more.
Yeah.
I can do. Okay, wonderful. So, a very beautiful allegory, imagery here. Virojana and the Indra are good tendencies within ourselves. Emotional growth and maturity means what? Reducing the Virojana factor and nurturing the Indra factor. What do we mean by the Indra factor? You see from the story, he was very decisive. Right from the beginning, he was extremely decisive. He didn't say, oh, maybe I'll go for this knowledge, maybe I'll not go for this knowledge. No, He was very decisive. Dhriti was there. Dhriti means this Viveka was there. Viveka means discrimination between Nitya, what is forever, and Anitya, what is never forever. Between Nitya and Anitya, there is a discrimination. And it sounds very easy. Oh, yeah, I know, I want Nitya, but then how is our behavior? We can say we want Nitya, but then what do we do? 24/7, 365. Go after, what do we go after? Anitya. We go after the time bound, even though we want the timeless, and the timeless not being an object, which is the truth of my own nature, that has to be studied, understood properly. But we don't, even though we say we want Nitya, we go after Anitya as though by force of some strange habit, some vasana, something. And so this is something we see in all of us, but we see that in Indra, that is not there. His discernment is very pakka, very, very well entrenched discernment, doesn't go back, doesn't doubt. He has all the qualifications which are there, and now we will look at the qualifications, and in the morning we will further, what is the word? We will further unpack this allegory and all the symbolisms that are there, which are very wonderful to see. So he has Viveka, and he also has the second qualification. What is that? Vairagya, letting go. Otherwise, somebody of his caliber, king of the Devas, to stay in an ashram for 33 years at a time, for 106 years, not at all possible. Not at all possible. So too, this knowledge does not come when we hold on to many, many things at one time. I want samsara, I'm going to hug samsara in this hand, and I'm going to hug moksha, freedom, liberation, Brahman with this hand. It does not work. It really does not work. Ultimately, even though we say everything is Brahman, in the beginning of the quest, this discernment between what is forever, which is the truth of myself, and what is not forever must be ascertained, and what is not forever, which is this whole world of objects. We have to have a certain objectivity with regard to the objects. That is indeed dispassion. The word dispassion is very off-putting to many people. And the moment you say the word Vairagya and start to explain it, people get Vairagya from Vairagya. Okay? No. They want to run away because they say, I am not capable of this. I want many things in the world. I want all the things that I have, plus I want this, and I'm not capable of this. So therefore, we have to redefine this Vairagya, giving up, tyaga, renunciation, and what else? Letting go from a place that is easy to assimilate. And that word is objectivity. You don't have to give up anything. You can't give up anything because it's already there. What can you give up, really? And so, but you can look at the same thing differently. You can look at the same thing differently based on your own emotional maturity. That is Vairagya. Objectivity. Money is, yes, important. Anybody who says, oh, money is not important, ask them to pay your bills. Okay? Yeah. What else to do? Money is important. It has transactability. But then We don't look upon money as a means of paying the bills. We have a value added attitude about money. This is what is wrong. This is what gets us into trouble. This is why we have to redefine this attitude. Money does not spell success. Money does not spell respect. Money does not spell happiness. These are all value added subjective understanding of an objective fact. Money is there. It is just something. You just you are just it is money. We say abundance. Goddess Lakshmi. You know when Goddess Lakshmi is the happiest? When she is in circulation. She's happiest when she is not tied down in one place. She's a social butterfly. She wants to go visiting everybody. And if you say, no, I'm going to hold on to you, she will just give you the slip. She will go. Money has to just be in circulation. That is how it is. Goddess Lakshmi belongs not to you, but to Lord Vishnu. She's the consort of Mahavishnu. If you try to suffocate the abundance, there is a kind of a flow in the universe, and that flow must keep going on and on and on. We are part of this flow. We have to recognize the flow and participate in the flow. Then we can have Vairagya, objectivity, with regard to money, with regard to property. Property, yes, you can own many things. Your house you own, you have a deed. Your car, there is a registration in your name. It's okay, everybody has a few things that they own, that they need. But then, when we convert this ownership into a sense of possession, then the problem comes. There is a difference between owning and possessing. The possessing is actually being possessed by. You are no longer possessing. You are possessed by whatever it is that you are holding on to. This is Vairagya, objectivity. Seeing the same things with a certain kind of objectivity. Like your childhood toys. You may have had a stuffed animal when you were small. Without it, you could not go anywhere. In fact, the mother had a hard time getting that in the washing machine because you were so attached to it. And now also maybe it is there. Maybe it is there in the attic. Maybe you go looking for something else and you find this. You may feel happy. Oh, I used to play with this when I was 2. But do you start holding it in one hand and sucking the thumb again? No. You can happily give it to a child, a grandchild, a niece, a nephew, whoever. And give it away. This is Vairagya. You have let it drop. It has dropped on its own. There is no forcible dropping. And then one walks with Vairagya, with dispassion, and grows into dispassion. It's like a bald person walking through the shampoo aisle of the supermarket. Yeah. No need to. Yeah. There may be hair potions, hair gels, and all the kinds of things which make the hair stand up literally, and things which make the hair lie down, things which make the hair curly, things which make the hair straight. So many things are there. Just long aisle of all kinds of things. But the person who has no hair is just a sannyasi. Goes without looking to the left, without looking to the right. This is how we grow in Vairagya, which we see Arjuna having completely. And then we have one more quality, which we see, I said Arjuna, I meant Indra. Indra we see depicting, which is mukshutvam, the desire to be free. Moksho me bhuyat iti ichha. May I have moksha. May this moksha be for me. That desire does not look this side, that side. That is just, it is described in the Mundaka Upanishad as though your head is on fire. If your hair is on fire, what are you looking for? You're looking for a pond. You're looking for a tap, some body of water where you can just dip your head, cool it off. And where is the water? You are so agitated. You're just water bound. And somebody says, just a few yards away, you just have to run there. The water is right there. And as you're running in that direction, you see a Starbucks on the left. Is there a thought to go in and get a mocha instead of moksha and then say, I think I'll buy this and then go dip my head in the water? No, you don't even see the Starbucks. You don't see anything, even though it's right there. You just go and dip your head. So the burning head is the burning desire for moksha. And then the water body is the Shastra, which cools this burning desire by teaching us the truth of ourselves. So these are the fourfold qualifications. 3 we have discussed. And the 4th one is actually a 6-pack. It has 6 things. Okay. Yeah, so that we will discuss in the morning and then continue to unpack this whole chapter of the Upanishad. And thank you, and thanks Svatmavidyananda for inviting me here. I've known her for a long time and just to respect her deeply. She's a very scholarly person. I just love the way she thinks, and it's just wonderful. We have a very nice connection.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. What time do we start in the morning?
Tomorrow morning, we will have
You
meditation
can do what
at
you
6
want.
o'clock.
Okay.
And next
then we
is,
will.
we can do anything too much. We just a lot of
6:30.
Yeah,
Okay. 6:30 to
6:30 will be the talk tomorrow.
out.
Thank you.
Oh, Namaskar.
Thank you
Thank
very
you for
much.
coming.
You rented at the inside the resort. You can bake out. So we went one nearby, some small little
The
big
world would
lakes
be a
and
better
just-
place if there was more people that thought the way that you thought, so now you're here. And now Ashram is a better place, so.
She's a lovely person.
So thank you very much. I mean,
Ashram is very fortunate to have her here.
I will stand up now for the arti.